Greetings, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be on this beautiful world. This is Lorenzo, Payman Lorenzo, your host for the Leaders with Heart podcast. Today I have an amazing guest for you, my two good friends, Roe and Evan from Hong Kong. They're currently in Hong Kong. They have an amazing story. They launched their own brand through Kickstarter, the world's most comfortable 3-in-1 yoga shorts. And they're going to talk to us about that and tell us their story and all that. So, guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much,
Great to be
Payman.
here.
Great to be here.
Great to be here, Payman.
Well, happy to have you guys. So, first of all, for those that do not know you, tell us about you, who are you guys, and tell us about your story.
Yeah, sure, Payman. So it's Roe here. I'll go first and just kick things
Sure.
off. So I am originally from the US. I spent a lot of time moving around, was always quite active growing up, played a lot of sports, played soccer, played rugby,
Nice.
baseball, was always super active in the gym. I was a big CrossFitter when I was in high school and, wanted to start a business that I was much more passionate about than my corporate job. And so actually when I met Evan in Hong Kong, who's not only my co-founder, but also my best friend, we decided to team up and build a company to really make a difference in our case, an area that we were super passionate about, which is men's health and wellness.
Awesome. Cool. How about you, Evan? What's your story?
Yeah, it's a quite similar story. So I echo everything Rose said. I got into yoga because my partner became a yoga practitioner. She practiced Pilates for a long time, and about 5 years ago, I decided to join her for a class, and the rest is history. So I actually started to fall in love with the practice. It was a really nice balance to the weightlifting, the basketball that I was playing quite regularly. And over my last 10, 15 years, I've had a couple severe injuries from basketball and weightlifting, and yoga has counterbalanced that. It's also really helped me personally, mentally, kind of clear out and cut out the noise from the external world and go a bit more internal. So that's kind of the initial story, is how I personally got into yoga. And then, meeting Roe and becoming best friends, we ultimately decided this is a great channel to help men worldwide who are just not living as long and as prosperously as they could, to slow down, get on the mat, and really kind of find themselves through the yoga practice to kind of counterbalance any activity they do.
Cool. Awesome. Before we dive into your business, what you do, tell us something unique and special about you that not many people know about you. So it can be something personal, something that you're proud of, something unique, something that really makes you who you are.
Something unique. All right. Well, I will say that I come from a generation of 5. There's actually 5 people in my family that have the exact same name. So I'm a
Wow.
5th. So my full name is James Monroe Morris the 5th. So it's a long generation. And I was the first one in my family to actually not go into the military. So those are kind of, you asked for 1, but those are 2.
That's awesome. That's cool. Cool story. How about you, Evan?
Yeah, nothing too wildly exciting. I've visited 50 countries. I lived in
Wow.
Europe for some time. Yeah, I've lived in Europe, Asia. I've traveled, to most continents, and I'm really looking forward to making it to Antarctica one day. Obviously,
too.
won't be able to just wear the brutal Buddha shorts, but yeah, speak
I know.
Spanish. I've learned some Chinese, so that's been an interesting journey for myself. And outside of that, I started my career off in healthcare and medicine, and I pivoted into international business just based on passion. So kind of done a little bit of everything.
Cool. Awesome. For me, travel is my drug, my passion. So for you, you said you've been to 50 countries. That's awesome. What was the country that completely blew your mind away?
Oh, it's a great one. I definitely think New Zealand is unbelievable. It is just a majestic world. The culture is really cool. So that was definitely one of the top 3 or 4. And then Monte Carlo was also, pretty spectacular. So obviously a smaller country, but Monaco in general is just a really spectacular place.
Did you go to Monaco during the Grand Prix? The Grand Prix or no?
Just 2 days before. So they were setting up. I
Oh,
was there for the week
wow.
before.
that's one of the things on my bucket list, to be there for a Grand Prix, because I'm a big Formula One fan, and to be there, it's absolutely amazing. Nice.
You'll
Okay.
get there.
So
I have full
for
faith.
sure. So you guys are you have your own you launch your own brand of yoga products. And of all the products you decided to launch, the world's best 3-in-1 yoga shorts. Why did you start with the shorts?
Yeah, so I think that's a great question, Payman. I think, like any great product out there, we took the opportunity to look for a problem that existed and to solve that problem. And so Evan and I are both active male yoga practitioners, and we actually felt that there was really a gap when we were practicing yoga in terms of, well, first of all, Evan and I don't wear pants. So, I mean, to answer your question, like when we practice yoga, we normally wear shorts
Sure.
during the practice. And what we found was that, as a male, you have very unique requirements when it comes to yoga. So if you're a woman and you're kind of doing different poses, you may not experience the same challenges that men have. And more specifically, when men are having to, and if any of your audience has ever practiced yoga, they'll know this, but it's also relevant to other activities as well. But there's something very specific. So as a guy, you want to make sure that you can hold your junk in place when you're doing different poses, right? So you want to make sure that you're not feeling any pinching or discomfort, and just make sure that if you are in a class, you want to make sure you don't expose yourself to anyone if you're doing an inversion or a weird pose, things like that. So Evan and I noticed that there were not brands that were offering these types of solutions to active male yoga practitioners. So that's why we decided to actually, trademark a what we call the package protector, which actually holds everything comfortably in place inside of a liner. And so the 3-in-1, which you mentioned, is the outer short, the inner liner, and the package protector.
Okay. So one thing that we'll get into that in a moment. One thing that I really like about you guys when we met first in Hong Kong a year ago is that you launch your product through crowdfunding Kickstarter. So why did you guys decide to go the Kickstarter route and not the traditional route of just trying to source a product yourself? Especially you guys were living at the time in Hong Kong and was China next door. Could have been very easy to do it, manufacture yourself. But why did you guys decide to go the crowdfunding route and not self-funding it yourself?
Yeah, I think it's a great question, Payman. I think, first of all, we wanted to make sure that we were bringing the community along with us. So Evan and I have a deep network of friends and family, and we knew that if we could get them really hyped up and excited on our launch day, that we could really drive quite a lot of sales, or we believed we could drive quite a lot of sales if we were to do a big bang event like a Kickstarter and Indiegogo. We were also advised by some of our advisors over at a company called EC Accelerate to actually go through a crowdfunding. And so we had to make the difficult decision of whether to select Kickstarter or Indiegogo. And it was a huge learning, but I think ultimately Evan and I were really happy with the direction we took versus just doing a kind of self-launch, pre-sale.
Well, that's a topic that's very interesting to me, because I'm also in the process of launching my own Kickstarter campaign very soon. So from the moment that you guys decided to go ahead with the Kickstarter and until you guys were live, how long did that whole process take?
Yeah, the process in itself was probably about 2.5, 3 months. So we had a strong 10 or 11 week plan where every single week we had a specific scope of what we need to accomplish. And when looking at that 10 or 11 week plan, it was rigorous, right? We needed to have phone calls with people who've reserved already. We needed to continue building our pipeline of potential buyers, and also, double, triple, quadruple check with people who've engaged with us in the past. But, given that we were ramping up for 6 to 12 months prior to that, a lot of people might have fallen off if we didn't stay in touch. So we continually added value through the email marketing that we were doing, and have a list of about 6 or 7,000 people who've signed up to our email list as subscribers. So it was quite a journey.
Awesome. And when it comes to the actual market research as to what exactly your target market is looking for in a short for yoga, did you do that prior to launching your Kickstarter, or was that something that you did on an ongoing process by keeping the line of communication open with your followers through Facebook or directly to the Kickstarter platform? So my question basically is, how did you come up with the final features on your short? Was that something that you had a good idea prior to launching your Kickstarter? Or was that something that as you moved along the process, then it became more and more evident in your mind based on the feedback you were getting from your audience that, hey, this is what we need to put on our product?
Yeah, it's a great question, Payman. So, I would say definitely the former. Ro and I started this customer kind of research from day zero. So we came together, we thought of 100 ideas between the two of us of a physical product that we could start. And this is a couple years back. And from that moment, every time we went to a yoga class, every time we spoke to somebody, mostly males, but even sometimes females, we were trying to understand where's the gap in the market, right? You have so many companies out there, the likes of Yoga Crow, Roan, Prana, Lululemon, the list goes on and on. There's about 50 companies who are making men's yoga apparel, specifically shorts. And it was important to Ro and I to really differentiate, right? We want to add true value. So in order to do so, you have to talk to literally thousands of guys to understand what the gaps are. So yeah, that process started from day one. I would say about 6 months in, once we started to kind of figure out what an initial design would look like, we started testing that idea against, different yoga practitioners and even people who are just in active sports, right? Who maybe are thinking about getting into yoga and meditation, but haven't necessarily done it yet. And then in the final 6 months leading up to production, that was where we really tripled down. And we started speaking to countless guys, to make sure that we're building the right product for the right reason.
Perfect. Thank you for the answer. So now that you've had all this feedback and you're able to build the perfect short for the yoga market, tell us more about what's exactly unique about your shorts.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously the big one is the package protector. So there's a lot of liners out there that guys find are either too compressive or too restrictive, and they don't actually hold the male parts in place in a unique way. For example, when you're twisting and turning and inverting and things like that. So that was the most complex part of the design, because we actually built something from scratch and there was nothing for the factory to actually copy or mimic. We truly built something from scratch. So that's definitely the most unique feature. A couple of other unique features as well is, we're using a very premium, eco-friendly knitted fabric. And, most brands will use woven fabric. And we found that if you use knitted fabric, what it means is actually the fabric particles are a little bit more spaced out, and that allows for more breathability. And we also found that if you add spandex, more spandex than, kind of the average brand, you can get a lot more stretch in the shorts. So we tested out for months, ourselves, but also with active male yoga practitioners, different types of fabrics. We had people do a yoga class, go for a run, all this type of stuff. And then, I would say just kind of two final ones is we actually have an anti-slip waistband.
Wow.
So, when you're actually doing yoga or you're moving around, as a guy, your shorts can kind of fall up and down, and you can kind of you don't want to show that plumber's crack, right? So we found that if you have an anti-slip waistband, it will stay in place very comfortably. And then, finally, we also found that, having deep pockets and added security with zippers was a unique feature as well.
I see that Evan, you're showing the shorts. Can you bring it closer so we can see? And
yeah, absolutely. That's why Ro and I make a great team. So
exactly.
kind of a multitask there. So yeah, I was just showing some of the features he was describing in real time. I think, one of the key features is definitely the deep pockets. When people are on the go, they don't want to have to worry about their wallet or their phone or their keys falling out. And if you're carrying, credit cards or cash, or even your wallet, or even your phone, everything fits really well into the back pocket. So we have a top class premier zipper. So it's really nice. It's got the logo on the back to remind people, don't try to steal my stuff. And ultimately, the shorts are definitely good for on the go, because you're never going to lose anything by wearing these shorts.
Are these short versatile in the sense that you can use them not just for yoga, but for other like running, or maybe sometime you're just on the beach or in a swimming pool, you just want to jump in, but without you don't want to go back to your place and change your shorts? Are they versatile, or tell us more about that?
Yeah, they're definitely quite versatile, payments. So we actually recently did a survey, as well as a number of in-person and video customer interviews. And we actually asked people, how are you using your Brutal Buddha shorts, right? Our first 1,000 customers, how are you using them? And, about 50 to 60% of them are using them for yoga as the main purpose. And the rest of people are using them for the gym. So because they're so flexible, you can do deep squats, which is something that, men have challenges with using other types of apparel. But we've got quite a number of fans that use them for running and also cycling. And then, to be completely honest, given COVID and just how much people are sitting at home, people just want to be really comfortable. So people are just, using them to lounge. And we've got a couple of fans that actually sleep in them. So
yeah,
awesome.
I wear mine every day.
I can imagine. Yeah. And if you say that someone could technically very easily use them also as a swimming trunks if they just happen to be going from yoga and there's a swimming pool next door, or just whatever, can they use that as a swimming trunks, or they wouldn't do it?
No, they can.
I would
they
say
definitely can. Yeah, so the shorts themselves are not designed specifically for swimming, frankly, but they are dry fit material. So I've jumped in the ocean, I've gone swimming in them countless times, and within about 20 minutes, I'm fully dry. I will say the inner liner doesn't dry as fast, so I wouldn't recommend, going in the pool or the ocean and then going for a 3 or 4 hour hike. Might not be the most ideal, but they are sweat absorbing and, moisture wicking. So definitely can jump in the pool with them.
And you said you have a pocket in the back. Is that pocket waterproof, just in case you want to put your phone, your wallet inside? Is that waterproof or no?
That's the next version. So it's
well, let me know when that is out. I will be the first backer, because that's something I really want. Shorts with waterproof pockets.
Haven't got there yet. Yeah,
okay.
So they're not waterproof. Do not jump in with your phone.
No, for sure. No, I don't know if you guys remember the first time we met. I believe it was at Global Source about a year ago. And as soon as I heard your business name and I looked at your business card, I saw the name Brutal Buddha. I said, that's the coolest name ever. And that was the first question I asked you, Evan. So why that name? Tell us what's the genesis of that name.
Yeah, happy to. So Roe and I met a couple of years, 3-4 years ago. And when we started this idea a couple of years ago, we had both realized that, we are kind of yin and yang. Roe is definitely more laid back, more mindful, kind of moves, in a more Zen way. Whereas I really approach life in a little bit more of an assertive and aggressive way. But ultimately we both kind of hold both attributes, so Brutal Force was my nickname in high school. And, through the course of our friendship, Roe kind of became the Buddha Force with the Zen. So yeah, we both kind of learned from each other, right? Like Roe plays rugby, so he definitely goes hard on the pitch. I play basketball and lift weights, and we were in the gym working out a lot together. But, through one of our friends and also my partner's company, Balance Health and Balance Potential, we got involved in one of their offsites called Horizon, a journey inward. And Roe and I both realized the power and importance of meditation. So not only are we looking to work out in the shorts, but we also get on the mat and do some breath work, mindfulness, and meditation, which is extremely critical, not just in your athletic life, right, but also in your, professional life as well, to really slow down and kind of see the forest through the trees, create a vision for yourself.
Sure, absolutely.
So we combine the two names.
What's your vision with this brand? How far and how high do you want to take it?
Extremely high. And we really have a no ceilings mindset. So Brutal Buddha is starting off, with men's yoga shorts, but we will expand our line down the road. We also plan to get into services at some point, because our number one goal is to achieve our mission to help active men seeking balance live longer, healthier lives. And we all know there's, you know, countless men out there who could use that help, right? Whether from a coaching perspective or just having the motivation and inspiration to put on the Brutal Buddha shorts and get on the mat to practice. So yeah, our grander vision is still, you know, kind of in the works, but our immediate vision is to have 1,000 raving fans. We're probably about halfway there. You know, we've sold thousands of shorts so far, and our goal is to get to 100,000 shorts in the next 2 or 3 years. So, you know, we want to impact lives, obviously for the sake of those individual men, but really their wider families and wider communities. So that's our goal.
Awesome. Have you guys already mapped, I'm sure you've already mapped out the next 5 products in your brand? And if yes, if you can share some insight for us.
Yeah, we've got the mapping. We've got the mapping out there. Yeah, I don't think we're able to share exactly which products we're going to be rolling out, but it will be potentially, you know, in the apparel space. It may be in the accessory space for yoga. Yeah, so those are kind of the two areas we're looking at, extending into a new type of apparel or going after accessories in the yoga space.
And I think earlier, Evan, you just gave us an insight as to what would be a next product, which would be the yoga shorts with waterproof pockets. So that's a good one. So are you guys targeting mainly?
Don't count your chickens on that one.
Okay. Maybe I might make just one for me. Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. So are you guys looking to target strictly men, or are you guys also going to expand into yoga products for women too?
I don't know, Evan, if you want to take that one.
Sure. Yeah. So we're strictly focused on men. So we will not be, you know, kind of entering into the women's sphere for some time, if at all. But that's a great question. We've definitely had, you know, some women ask us about products, and you know, our major focus is on, you know, men's apparel for the time being. So it's something that we've entertained, but it won't be in the near future.
Okay. And on what platforms are you currently selling your products? Is it strictly on your crowdfunding, on your own website, or also on Amazon? So what's your marketing strategy currently?
Yeah, we have our own Shopify page. So we're selling direct to consumer, and Amazon is something we've thought about, you know, down the road, but for the time being, we're sticking kind of to our own site and, you know, direct sales. So that's our number one focus. Also through some PR outlets, maybe we'll get into, you know, like brick and mortar retail and wholesale, but those are all secondary priorities. For the time being, our number one focus is direct to consumer and building really key relationships with our first 1,000 raving fans, right? Because if we can get the shorts out, you know, to men and families across the world and hear feedback, then we can continue to grow our business in the right way.
Do you guys have your own podcast for your brand?
We don't, Payman, but it's definitely something that has been on the to-do list and interest. We would definitely be interested to do that, but we don't have one for now.
I think that would be an amazing thing to do to get the word out, but also for you, it would be easy. You said you already sold thousands of units. If you can just get some of your current customers to come to share the stories and all that, and reach out to potential influencers, that would tremendously help you guys to basically bring the word out about your brand and all that. That can be, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I mean, that's something that Evan and I are really focused on now. I mean, it's very clear through our first 1,000 customers that we have a great product, and now it's about brand awareness. So we have a pretty, you know, I would say intermediate to advanced influencer strategy that we've been working on. We're seeing kind of mixed results so far, but you know, podcast was definitely an avenue, and inviting people on is something we could do. And you know, we're also collaborating with other brands. So we do a lot of co-promotions. There's a lot of brands out there that have a, you know, similar mindset in terms of they want to help, men or even women, live longer, healthier lives, and they want to transform people in some way. So we want to be aligned to those brands as well. And so, one thing we're doing on December 5th is we're actually doing our first pop-up shop, and we may cooperate with another couple of brands that have a similar mission that we do.
Mm. That's awesome. And for you guys, more than a podcast, I would say what, in my opinion, would be even more beneficial would be to cultivate and build a big following on Facebook, and then do maybe weekly or even daily, Facebook Live, just doing exercises and whatnot, showing how versatile or flexible your product is, and just to build a following that way. And then each week, for example, you can just select one of your members to join you live, and just to give them a shout out, and build it from there, because this is a product that needs to be seen, because it's a lifestyle product. It's gets more potential than just a podcast, just audio. People need to see it in action, see people using it. And for that, Facebook community, with, I would say, especially if you're trying in the beginning to really be aggressive, daily lives, maybe 5-10 minutes each day, just the workout of the day, because you guys are big in CrossFit, so you understand that. Just do the exercise of the day, whatever, just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then see who's live. Whoever is live, you just get them on the video with you wearing your shorts, and then generate a lot of interest and from your own users that way. That would be something that I would do if this was my brand.
Yeah, it's a great suggestion. Ultimately, sorry, 1 second, guys.
No problem.
Ultimately, we have started a Facebook VIP community. Awesome. So Roe is the mastermind behind that community. It's in the upwards of 3,000, approaching 4,000 members. And we do post quite a lot there. I love your idea of a daily workout routine. We've been doing something called Brutal Basics. So Brutal Basics is, usually a weekly post where we have Madison, who's our in-house kind of head of yoga and mindfulness, and she helps us through some of these creative flows to kind of give 5-10 minute tutorials. So you're spot on, and would love for you to join the VIP community.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to say another thing, like, for example, for you guys, not only just the workout of the day, but even make it like a challenge. Because I watched a video you showed me, you guys do, first of all, that video was very well done, very professionally done. And you were showing doing some kind of push-ups and stuff. Maybe you can do some kind of like a challenge. Let's start with the 10 push-ups, and then whatever, and then build it up. See if maybe the first week you will have, say, 5-10 people live with you, join watching, and then eventually you have more and more people. Make it a challenge, and then say, this week we start with 10 push-ups, next week with 20. For me, just to do a small parenthesis, just a small tangent, push-ups changed my life. Back in May when I started, I could not do 10 push-ups to save my life. I started with 10 lousy. Listen, I started with 10 lousy push-ups, 3 sets of 10 push-ups in the morning and the afternoon. And then every week I would add 5 more. So by August 1st, I reached 300 push-ups a day. Now I'm doing 600 a day. So 600 push-ups a day. That exercise alone has allowed me to lose almost 25-30 pounds. And not only that, but now my body went from looking almost on the way to be like Homer Simpson, like a shapeless potato, to now
you're a true brutal Buddha.
For the first time in my life, I swear to you, I'm seeing like definition of my chest. The first time I saw the V line just under my shoulders, I say, holy smoke, is that me? I could not believe it.
Nice, man.
Thank you.
That's what we're talking about. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Evan and I, Payman, Evan and I are actually part of a group called Fit or Quit. And you actually post a workout every day. Yeah. And you are obviously with other members of the group. And it's a bit of a contest, right? So it's kind of like how many workouts can you get in a month? And, we're very similar to you in terms of, we know push-ups are a great workout, particularly if you don't have a lot of time, but you just want to get in a great workout. Sure. So a favorite of some of ours is to do 100 push-ups in 4 minutes.
Exactly.
That's one that we do.
Exactly. For example, something like that, do it on a daily, just like a challenge in your community. See how many people can do it. Tell them, hey, in the beginning, even if you can only do 20, that's fine. Your competition is not me or other guy. Your competition is yourself, and then
Yeah, exactly.
do it. And every week, just add 5 more or whatever. Not only people will love it, but also that's going to be a tremendous, content that people will love to share, especially when they're able to reach and beat their goal.
Mm-hmm.
I would
Absolutely.
definitely make it like an ongoing thing, like a challenge. Make it like there's one YouTuber guy that he was doing a lot of workout videos, and one of his favorite exercise was push-up. And at one time he launched the 100 push-up, the 30-day 100 push-up a day. He did that. He even had people sign up for it. They would pay like $30, and at the end of the month, if they completed, they would just get a T-shirt for $30. It's not about the money. It's just like people say, I completed the 30-day 100 push-ups a day. Something like that you guys can implement in your community. It's not about the extra revenue. Sure, that would be nice, but mostly it's about branding and also about helping people, you improve through the use of your products.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great idea.
Yeah. Okay. So the theme of my podcast is leaders with a heart. That is people that are building meaningful, impactful businesses that have a purpose, a mission, and a heart. Are there any causes that are dear to your heart, guys, that you would like to associate with your Brutal Buddha business?
Definitely. Yeah, I can kick off. So I would say the number one is mental health. We can see through this trying time with the pandemic and even beforehand, with the elections and kind of the 4-year term with Trump, whether you're a supporter or not, there's just been a lot of turmoil and stress, in the States, but really worldwide. And, this has been ongoing for decades and centuries as far as the human experience. So mental health is kind of the aftermath, right? A lot of people suffer in some way, shape, or form. And Brutal Buddha is, really looking to connect with organizations that lead with hearts as well, right? That really want to transform people's lives, not just in a physical way, right? Get the 6-pack and have the shredded chest and the buff legs, but also really a strong and clean and clear mind, right? So that, you can become more self-aware. You can recognize that mental health is nothing to be ashamed of. If you have poorer mental health, but actually an opportunity to grow and thrive, right? So life demands a lot out of us. And one of the mantras of Brutal Buddha is to help active men, seeking balance, that keyword being balance, achieve longer, healthier lives with balance, right? So I'd say mental health is one for me. How about you, Ro?
Yeah, mental health is definitely key. There's a couple of organizations that we have been discussing some proceeds going towards. But I would say additionally to mental health, also sustainability and the environment are really important to us at Brutal Buddha. We focus a lot on, having eco-friendly materials. And actually what we do is each order contributes to a new tree being planted in a country in Africa. So nice. We do everything we can to ensure that very little plastic is used. I think we only use something like 3% of our orders that are shipped out, the boxes and stuff we use, only 3% of it is plastic. The rest of the 97% is recycled material. And as we said, we'll plant a tree, for each 100 orders, we'll actually plant a brand new tree. So we're definitely trying to promote sustainability. And, as we kind of scale up as a brand and learn, the ins and outs of these eco-friendly materials and, can just kind of figure out how the kind of scalability and costing works, we'll continue to more and more, promote these types of sustainable best practices.
That's awesome. Okay.
Absolutely.
Beautiful, because I have a firm belief that we as entrepreneurs have not only a responsibility, but also a duty to do good, not just because it's the right thing to do as a human being, but also because it's good for business. People want to do business with businesses that they can trust and relate to. And everybody loves to contribute and to have an impact, but a lot of people are not able to, either because they don't have the financial means or because they're just too busy. But by us associating a worthy cause to our product or businesses, it's in a way for us, it's going to allow people to empower them to the purchase of our products. And that's something that people will feel very passionate about. And that's going to transform your potential buyer into just a mere buyer into a loyal evangelical fan. And that's the ultimate goal for any business. So that's why it's so important, not just from the human side, but also for business, but if it's done the right way. So I'm glad that you guys already have that. I see a lot of potential in you guys because I can see the passion. Your product is awesome. I'm definitely going to get one myself because I want to test it. I want to see how it is. And also because I want to support you. You guys are my friends, my buddies. So that's what we do. We help each other.
Likewise.
And, exactly. So so if someone wants to reach out to you guys, what's the best way to reach you guys?
Yeah. So Payman, they can basically reach out to us on our by email. It's just team@brutalbuddhagear.com. BRUTALBUDDHAGEAR.com. brutalbuddhagear.com. They can also just go to our website, brutalbuddhagear.com, and there's a contact us page where that they can message us. And then secondly, they can go to our Instagram, which is just brutal _ Buddha, all lowercase.
Okay.
And then we have a Facebook page as well, which is just Brutal Buddha Gear as well. So those are probably the best channels. Evan and I also have a Calendly, and it's just calendly.com/brutalbuddha. And you can set up a call with Evan and I pretty much any hour of the day. So those are probably the best ways. Did I miss anything, Evan?
No, you nailed it. We've got TikTok, I'd say Snapchat, LinkedIn, all coming. But for the time being, those are our best channels.
You guys are everywhere.
Have to be. Health and longevity needs to exist everywhere. So do we.
I know. And I have a feeling that the one running the Roy is running the Facebook, and I have a feeling that you, Evan, is the one that's running the TikTok page, eh?
You nailed it. Yeah, TikTok, Instagram, some more of those social media platforms.
Awesome. So, if you were to give a parting advice for anyone trying to get into yoga as a man, what would that be?
Yeah, I'd say slow down, really evaluate your life. Take some time and take a pause to self-reflect and figure out what a plan is, right? Life is a long journey. It's not a sprint. It truly is a marathon. And countless men that we've interviewed, in their late 60s, 70s, even 80s, have come to us and said, man, I got into yoga 5 years ago. Really wish I started when I was 27 or when I was 33, right? And that's the mindset we're trying to instill in our fans. Start early, just like invest in your health. From an ergonomic standpoint, so many knowledge workers out there are truly just sitting 8, 9, 10, 11 hours every single day, 5, 6 days a week. And over time, that has a severe impact, right? But one way to reverse it is getting on the mat, 3, 4 times a week, 30 to 45 minutes. So my number one advice would be to find that balance, achieve Zen, and get a pair of Brutal Buddhas along the way. Maybe even one for somebody, your dad, your brother, your son, or even just a dear friend. Or your husband, if any ladies on the show are listening to this.
Oh, I'm sure there will be. Thank you very much, guys. So as I said, I really love your passion, what you guys are doing. And not only that, I love the fact that you have a beautiful, worthy cause that you're very passionate about. And so you guys are not only tremendous guys, but also you are definitely true leaders with a heart. So with this,
appreciate it. Show off the Brutal Buddhas.
Oh yeah. Oh, these green ones look amazing.
This is the longevity.
There you go.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
There's the gray.
Got the gray ones.
Package protector.
Oh, they look very comfy. Very nice. Yeah.
The logo.
Check this out. Black matches anything. So sorry, I had to throw in a little bit of modeling. Our hashtag is Namaste Brutal. So just like Namaste at the end, you just put in Namaste and then Brutal. So that's our hashtag as we try to scale globally.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what we mean by that, Payman, is basically I bow to the brutal in you. which is what we mean by Namaste Brutal.
And how about you as the newest addition to the Leaders with a Heart family?
Thank you, Payman. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure.
Thanks,
Thank you so much.
Take it easy. Stay safe, guys. God bless. Cheers. Keep in touch.
God bless. Take care.
Ciao, ciao.
Namaste.